Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. You see it right there. I'm here with the big homie, rocking with the best man, the Ice Man, Ronald Coley. What's up, big homie? Now, he had to go out and make another Twitter because he wants to keep it his separate life and his DFS life. He wants to keep those separate. I get that. See, I started out like that. I've got another Twitter that's my family Twitter, but I've got this one, the DFS Jerusalem, that's my DFS Twitter. So, but the funny thing is, the Iceman has not tweeted yet. Okay, so now he's gonna send out his first official tweet here live on the show as the Iceman, and I want y'all to go ahead and follow him, man. Just at Iceman_Coley. Just the big homie. Go follow him on. What's up, bro? How you doing this week, man?
Oh man, I'm doing well, man. Just waiting to get this week 5 going, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, first thing I'm gonna ask you is something I ask you every week. We had the homie Kurt cover on earlier in the week, and I gotta get a read on what kind of slate you think this is. Like, give me an overall view, your overall view on what kind of slate this is, what you think's gonna happen, how it's gonna shake out for you.
Well, it's a slate that looks like when you look at the totals don't look like there's kind of much fantasy value, but I think there is some. I think this is a week to one of my big plays this week is my top plays rather is Aaron Rodgers, and a lot of people. I mean, and there's some mid salary value too. So I think there's a lot of places to go. And I mean, wide receiver, even there's a bunch of plays there. So this looks like an overall really balanced slate that might not get out of hand. So I mean, I think there's some definite opportunity there.
But you know what? I kind of share those sentiments because to me, I think this is a slate where everybody is so enamored with the top running backs that we're going to see under ownership on a lot of really solid, just good plays. I think this is the week where there's enough value, enough perceived value for everybody to play Le'Veon Bell. He's going to be in damn near every lineup that rolls out. And I think and I'm not saying he's going to have a bad week, but I'm just saying that there are people that's way cheaper price that can have very similar productions as we're going to see from him. That's just my overall view. And if I'm going to pay up anywhere, it's not going to be at running back this week. If I'm paying up anywhere, I'm paying up at quarterback. I think this is the week to pay up for the quarterback that you really like in a great spot. So,
I agree with that.
And you're not going to be able to do that. Well, I mean, because what's the point of grabbing? You got Le'Veon Bell paying 9.5. And then you had to find a guy priced under 4K that goes out and gets you 7 points, and Le'Veon Bell gets you 36. And if we look at last week, 39 touches. Like how sure are we that it's going to happen again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not going to happen again. I can tell you that.
And then you see the temper tantrum with Antonio Brown. You don't think that's going to get some targets his way? This is a classic
spot.
Force
feed him,
yeah. This is a classic spot for Lev Bell to go out and get you 19 points at 9.5 and totally destroy your lines not because he played poorly, but because the guys that you used in order to play him were not good at football, and they just didn't do well. So that's kind of where I'm thinking this slate is going to shake out. And another thing, we talked about this briefly before we started the show, man, and because the Iceman is a big time FanDuel guy, plays a lot of FanDuel, and I, as you know, am more of a DraftKings guy, so I was teasing him about FanDuel having a milli maker that only pays out $500,000, and he got on me because he was like, well, on DraftKings, first place was $1 million and second place was like $10.
Just about right.
That's legit. Let me tell you, on DraftKings you can have a lineup that scores 200 and win like $30, man. That shit is crazy. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy.
That's a big drop off, man. I don't know what they were thinking with that one.
Well, I guess they don't want the tournament to lose its luster. I mean, there's got to be some place where you can actually earn $1 million in DFS, and it's just going to be DraftKings. That's where they're going to be doing it, but they're still going to get their rake and make sure it happens for them. And
Yeah.
but one thing that I really want y'all to understand is, and we talked about this too, man, about the importance of playing cash games, playing those double ups, playing those head to heads. Now, my rendition of
Hmm.
cash games are going to be single entry. The bulk of my rosters, no matter what roster it is, the bulk of the money I put in is going to be in single entry. That's where I make my money at. And I also do play a lot of tournaments, but I won't play more often than not. It's going to be single entry. So that's something I really wanted you all to understand. Is there anything? How do your cash disbursement go? Is it very similar, or are you just an all tournament guy? Or
Well, I mean, yeah, mostly tournament. Even though it's mostly single entry, which is like kind of like cash, but with a wrinkle or two here or there. So I don't do the multi entries that often. Like the FanDuel Sunday Million I've been doing, but other than that, I don't normally do it. I just stick to single entry GPPs.
there it is. So
Yeah, yeah.
all right, well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Without further ado, well, actually, there's one more thing we talked about too, because we gotta bring out everything, because behind the scenes, man, the Iceman is a bulldog, and he was like, yeah, man. So this game that get taken off, we've only got an 11 game slate. Are you seeing this? We went from 14 game mains to now we're 11 game main, and you hear all of the sharks out there mad about, man, they shouldn't have took that Sunday night game off. We're pissed about that, and that's fakery and that's phony. They're not mad about that. They relish that. They love that. They love the fact that there's only 11 games for them to play, and it gives them a greater chance of covering all their bases. In terms of their roster build. So, but what it does help us too, because if we unite and we are together like one big shark, then we can
Hmm.
we can cover all the bases that we need to cover as well. So let's go ahead, jump into the slate. First game we've got is going to be the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. This game is going to be in Cincinnati, man. We've got the Bills coming in at 3-point dog. It's a 39.5 point total. And I gotta throw this out there, man. I'm rocking with RotoQL, man. Very solid site. Love to use it. It's probably my favorite DFS tool. If you want to get in on it, it's very easy, man. Go to one of my YouTube videos. You'll see it marked at the bottom. You can definitely use it. Really solid stuff. So no, give us a little breakdown. What do you think about this Buffalo and Cincinnati game? We saw Cincinnati, or Andy Dalton for that matter, have a masterful performance last week. We were all over him in that instance. We're going up against the Buffalo defense. Is this Buffalo defense real? And if you think they're real and you don't want to play Andy Dalton, I would say you might as well play the Buffalo defense here, because Andy has had a couple of bad games. What are you seeing from this game? And we've got Dalton at home. Give us a look there.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Buffalo defense, I mean, this team, I mean, they're for real. I think defensively, the most they've given up is 17 to Atlanta in Atlanta. I mean, that the Atlanta's one of the top offensive teams. So, I think this Buffalo defense is really a force to be reckoned with. And I'm not looking at too much from a Cincinnati standpoint. I mean, the Bills are down Jordan Matthews, and they're also that's going to put even more of a strain on their passing game. I know he's been out for a while, but I mean, this that's really going to cause an issue because they really need someone like him. And I mean, on the other side, you still got Tyler Eifert missing, and they have a few injuries as well. So as well as Ross, so that's gonna just lower the ceiling of the Bengals passing attack. So of course, you can look at AJ Green if you if you dare. I mean, the Bills. I mean, I see this as being a low scoring game. That's all there is to it. I mean, would I consider Dalton? I probably wouldn't. I mean, as a GPP player, you always want to consider these plays, but I just can't see considering Dalton. Tyrod Taylor. I mean, Cincinnati's defense is good too. So I don't know about that one either. But of course, McCoy is going to get his touches. You always got to consider him. AJ Green. As far as Charles Clay goes, I think I mean, Buffalo shuts down. I'm sorry, Cincinnati is shuts down the tight end as well. So I'm not looking at much from this game because it's just a negative all across the board on both sides.
I'm always inclined to agree with the Iceman, except in situations where I have quarterbacks that can move the pocket, get outside the pocket, and throw the ball down the field. And we haven't seen Tyrod Taylor have like that Tyrod game that made us fall in love with him last season. But I think what we did see was Deshaun Watson have that type of game against Cincinnati. Remember?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this is a very similar style quarterback. I'm not saying he's as good or whatever. He's Watson. I'm not saying that. But this is a similar playing style. A guy that can get outside of the pocket and make plays. And I think that was exploited as a weakness for the Cincinnati Bengals. And if they're going to win, if the Buffalo is gonna win it and compete and challenge in this game offensively, not only is LaShawn McCoy gonna have to run well, and priced at 7.8K is a very solid play. I think Tyrod Taylor gonna have to get involved too. So and while I don't see him slinging the ball around the yard throwing 5 touchdowns, I think at 5K he could be a guy that nobody is on that could definitely be a solid play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean. It's playing in Cincinnati. I mean, this team. I mean, you look at their what they've been giving up, and I mean, it's not too shabby either. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, Tyrod Taylor. You gotta any quarterback that can run one in for a touchdown and can pass. I mean, you got to consider him. So.
Right.
But I mean, yeah. But I mean, me myself, I don't think I'm going there. It just looks like a low scoring game.
Homie's making a stand. Hey, when a man makes a stand, you gotta stand with the man. There it is. Yeah. In this game, we got the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. It's been said for the last couple of seasons, man, quite a few actually, that you can just stream offenses against the Cleveland Browns here. We got a 40-point total. The Browns are at the crib. You got Deshaun Kaiser, a guy that has turned the ball over more than any other quarterback so far this season. And then we've got, Josh McCown, who's priced at 4.5K, very cheap, going back to Cleveland to take on the team and the guy that replaced him. Could there be a narrative that we can use here? I'm not very sure. We've got everybody talking about Austin Seferian-Jenkins this week. He's going to be the tight end chalk. This game, this is only DFS can make this much interest in the game. Like this is the toilet bowl, bro. This is the toilet bowl. But DFS has us totally interested in this game. So let's take a look at this, man. What are you seeing as far as the Jets going to Cleveland, and especially in terms of Josh McCown, man, at the quarterback spot, 4.5K? What you think?
Well, first let's get this out of the way. Myles Garrett is going to be making his debut. So the guy was a number 1 overall pick for a reason. And they're really high on him. A lot of people, scouts, are high on him. So we really don't know how that's going to impact, this defense for Cleveland. So although, I mean, if you look across the board, it looks like a great matchup, for McCown and Austin Seferian-Jenkins, like you just said. But, I expect him to make some kind of, impact, not an earth-shattering impact, but he's going to make a difference on that team. So, Josh McCown, he's got a great matchup. He's low price. If you want to get him in there as a tournament play, Jenkins, the same thing there. I mean, I don't see how Garrett is going to affect the covering the tight end, but that remains to be seen. But anyway, McCown and Jenkins are good plays here. On the other side, it's a really good play for Crowell. The coach Hugh Jackson talked about trying to get him the ball more. This guy's a decent runner. He's a decent runner, and this is a very good matchup for him. The Jets are towards the bottom of the league in terms of against running backs. So I would definitely play Crowell here. I would, at least put him in my pool. Duke Johnson as well. As far as Kaiser goes, I can't get with that, man. McCown, I would, to be honest with you, if I was throwing like into one of those big tournaments, I would actually do a stack with him and Jenkins.
And see. Well, today. Well, this week was kind of making McCown a little bit more appealing to me. McCown and another low-priced quarterback we're going to talk about later. What's making these guys appealing to me is that there's no top-heavy chalk that you gotta pay up to play for. Like this is not a week where like you got Julio, you've got Antonio Brown in a good spot, you've got Le'Veon Bell in a smash spot, you got David Johnson, this is not a week like that. So people are not gonna play Josh McCown. They're not gonna play the other guy Hoyer. We're gonna be talking about. They're not gonna play them because there's nobody to pay up for if you play them. Like you could actually see lineups this week with 1,000, 1,500 left on the table that are still really good lineups.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I did that just making a lineup today. I'm like, man, I got too much money left. You know, what am I gonna do with it? So I definitely feel you on that.
Don't let that scare y'all, bro. Like if you make a lineup that you actually like and you've got money left on the table because you played Josh McCown and but you like Elliott more than you like Le'Veon Bell, and you got enough money left to go up from Elliott to Bell, like don't do it. Stay where you are, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's your flavor, if that's how you feeling, you know what I mean? So and that's gonna be my approach, man. I'm splitting the difference. I like Josh McCown in this spot because I like to stream offenses against Cleveland. That's just a rule for me. It's like Coarse in MLB. It's like Kimba at home in NBA. It's like Boston rebounding in NBA. Like I stream offenses against them, and I'm gonna play Josh McCown. I'm gonna play Jeremy Coarse. I'm probably gonna pair both of those guys with Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Grab maybe some Duke Johnson on the other side. I might stack this shit because nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to play this because nobody has to. You can get whoever you want without playing the scrubs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the way I'm going to be approaching this one, man. Next game we got is going to be the Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. We've got a 42.5 point total with the Detroit Lions back at the crib. They're in Detroit, bro. They're in the dome, and you get Matt Stafford at home in the dome, and nobody's talking about playing them, bro. Negative 2.5 is what they're giving up. Cam Newton on the other side, 6.5. We've seen the stuff that he went through this week when he belittled the reporter for about running routes, which honestly, you know what? Hey, I don't want to get to, but I mean, I was impressed that she said that. Maybe he was too. I don't know. Hopefully that's what it was. But what do we think about these two teams? I like the fact the point total is fairly close and it's over 40. I kind of like that. I think this one, if I had to pick one game that would exceed the total, this would be the one. Like I really think this is a low total for this game. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, and I was thinking that as well. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he hasn't had like last week he didn't do much, but I mean, this guy is capable at home. You can never count him out, especially at home. I mean, the Panthers on the other side. I mean, Cam Newton, he had a good week last week, and a lot of people are wondering if that was just a flash in the pan, or is this guy really on the way back? I don't know. I don't know if that whole thing with the reporter is going to be a distraction. I don't think it will be. Some people are talking about that. I don't think it will be. The one thing that will be bad for them is they're missing their center, Khalil, and he's a major part of that the offensive line. So that is going to play a role, and they're also going to be without two of their safeties as well. So they're going to have some backups in there. So I think the Lions really do have a shot at putting up some points here. If you look at the matchups, I mean, Detroit has got an advantage really nowhere, but still, it doesn't matter because they're, of course, Tate. You always want to look at Tate. Marvin Jones Jr. has been not showing up recently, but he can always do something. So overall, yeah, this isn't the greatest matchup, but once again, this is one of these tournament plays you can make with Stafford. Where he's going to be low owned. I don't foresee him being highly owned at all, and he could put up some big points as well.
Yeah, I definitely like him. And to your point, we talking about Cam Newton with the bad offensive line. I almost love when I have these type of quarterbacks with bad offensive lines because it's not like they're going to sit back there and just get sacked. Like they're going to move. And as you know in DFS, man, when the quarterback is moving, bro, like it can help you out. It can really help you out. Running the football. extending the plays, still being able to throw the ball down the field. So I'm not, and I think Cam kind of turned the corner. I think Cam like yo, I'm running when I want to. I'm running. Y'all trying to tell me, you told me stop running. We lost a couple of games. I'm running, and I'm gonna lower my shoulder. And if it's third and goal, and we tried 2 times for Jonathan Stewart to run the ball in, it's third and goal. I'm running it in. And that's exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? So he's a guy that I can definitely get behind here against a really lackluster Detroit defense. Just as you talked about, playing Matt Stafford in this spot, I think is very doable. People are just not talking about him. And anytime, I go throughout an entire week and I don't hear anybody say anything about a guy that I think could be in a good spot, it's going to pique my interest, man. And that's kind of where I'm at right now in terms of Matt Stafford and just the Detroit offense altogether. So let's move on. To the next game, we've got the San Francisco 49ers and the Indianapolis Colts. This is one of the sexiest point totals I've seen in quite some time, only because it's approaching 45 points, and it's like a 1 point difference.
Yeah.
Like we have like 2 of the worst games of the year on the same slate. We talk about the Jets and Cleveland, and then San Francisco, Indianapolis. But one of these games are going to pop. One of these games are going to really pop off. And it's funny because we talked about those 2 quarterbacks, and both of them are in this game where you got Brian Hoyer in this game, and you had McCown in the other one, and they priced 4.7, 4.5, bro. This is one of the guys are going to go off. So what do you think about this game, man? I kind of like this game. Take a look.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were talking about this earlier in the shop. I mean, this this matchup really has kind of has shootout written all over it. To be honest with you, I mean, this is really Hoyer. Let's be honest. Hoyer has not been that good, but this is a great matchup for him. Really, the whole San Francisco offense. This is a great matchup for Indianapolis. I mean, although they got Vontae Davis back, but I mean, I still don't see him really slowing down. I mean, Carlos Hyde is in play. Yeah, I know the kid Marquise. I'm sorry, not Marquise. Marquise Goodwin. He's questionable.
Right. No, I think he's questionable. He could play and start. He could.
And see, because I was wanting who was going to try to be my sneaky play was Aldrick Robinson.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was, but now that Marquise Goodwin is, it looks like he might play from what I understand. So that might throw that out. But Goodwin, hey, I mean, if you want to give him a try, he's low priced. You can give him a shot. On the other side, of course, Brissett. I wouldn't be opposed to playing him either. I mean, this is a great matchup for him as well. And then as well as Frank Gore. I mean, you got the narrative of him playing his former team, even though it's not in San Francisco, but he's playing his former team. You got T.Y. Hilton as well, having a great matchup. So, I mean, you can stack this game possibly if you want. With both running backs, it should be close. I mean, I think this is going to be like a 24-21 type game, something like that. It may go for even more.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to play really anyone. I mean, Moncrief is another sleeper that I'm looking at. Moncrief. So I think I'm going to throw him in as like a little low cost guy in a lot of my lineups.
Definitely. And you know what? I can agree with that, man. Actually the 49ers, man, are actually one of my low tier stacks that I think I'm going to be employing, man. Of course, you look at how bad the Indianapolis Colts have been defensively all year long, bro. Even dating back to last year, this is a team that sucks against the run. Like they just suck against the run. And you got Carlos Hyde, he's priced at 6.9, which is it's approaching a point to where we need to see a little bit more than 15, 16 points. But this could be a smash spot for him, bro. And I like Hyde here. I don't have. Vontae Davis is back. I'm not afraid of Vontae Davis. I'm not.
You don't have to be.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Vontae Davis. I've got no problem with playing some 49ers here at this spot in a 1 point differential and a 45 point total. The one guy that I will not play, I have no interest in, is Jacoby Brissett. Like I'm not on Brissett. Don't like him much. I do think that you could play T.Y. Hilton if you absolutely have to. But Frank Gore is actually another guy, and it's the price for me with Frank Gore, 4.4, the price for me is just, I mean, how can you get around that? Guys, you know,
it's cheap, man.
and that's so cheap, bro. It's cheap.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
funny thing is, yo, Frank Gore at 4.4 can get the same thing Le'Veon Bell gets at 9.5 in this matchup. He could.
I mean, well,
it's possible.
Maybe not. Nah, I don't know about that, but I wouldn't go that far. But you know, he can do well.
Bro, they can both get 20 points and walk away, and you just threw away $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next game, because they're hating me on this one. They're hating this.
They said, yeah. You know, I'm seeing a few comments. You're right.
Yo, I'm not. Yo, that Le'Veon Bell shit, man. That shit is like prime egg on your face, let you down category, bro. Like I don't believe in that shit, man.
It's a great matchup, though, man. We'll talk about it when it comes up, though.
and he's like the best running back in the league. Every matchup is a great matchup for him.
Well, this one is exceptional, though. I mean, Jacksonville's given up 5.7 yard average. They've given up 5 touchdowns already. Man, that's
yo. You could play Le'Veon Bell against the 85 Bears. That's how good he is. He's gonna have a good game. He's gonna have a ton of good games. But is he gonna have 9.5? Where you want on DraftKings, you want 2.5 to 3x. So that means if he ain't getting 30, he's hurting you. Like if he don't get 30, he's hurting you. No.
Yeah. The price is a sort of issue. I would agree.
All right, and enough of that. We'll get into it. We get there. All right. Next thing we got it's gonna be the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. 42.5 point total here. The Dolphins are a 2.5 point dog at the crib. Your home dogs are a thing. They've always have been, always will be, in my opinion. But I just can't play Jay Cutler here. I'm not doing it. I've heard some people say they want to play him, and I get it. It makes sense. Very solid matchup. One of the best matchups actually on the slate in terms of DVP against the position. It's just me. I just don't want to play Jay Cutler here. You got Devontae Parker. You've got Jarvis Landry. It looks like he to be in a good spot. Yo, I called the shot earlier this week, and I'm like, yo, Julius Thomas will catch a touchdown. Like if I had to, yo, everybody's like, oh my God, Devontae Parker, pour him all over me, jerking off to Devontae Parker and all of that. But yo, Julius Thomas gonna catch a touchdown. Julius Thomas gonna catch a touchdown. I'm not in love with Devontae Parker. I'm not in love with Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills, none of that. The only guy that I would play with like complete confidence is Julius Thomas. I like him in this spot. I think Cutler's gonna throw to the tight end, and at 2.8K, the guy's gonna catch a touchdown, maybe get five catches out of 7 targets, and I'll be good with that. On the other side, I like DeMarco Murray. That's it. What do you think?
Okay, so you just like Murray. Okay, well, you know what? I like this. Who the big question is Mariota going to play? I mean, I know he's questionable. I think he's going to play. I mean, if he does play, I think that's going to limit his mobility on scrambles, and some of those design runs are not going to go through. So, but you look from a matchup standpoint, Miami. I mean, Jay Cutler has the absolute best matchup. I mean, if he can't do something here, they might as well just put in more because he's just not going to get it done. So I'm definitely looking at the receivers here for Miami. Parker is one I'm looking at. Not so much Landry because he doesn't seem to score. It seems like he gets a lot of catches but no scores. So I'm definitely liking Parker here. And you know what? To be honest with you, I have a Miami stack with Jay Cutler and Parker. I have a stack. I have a stack waiting there, and I'm hoping it'll go off. But on the other side, Tennessee, like you said, Murray is probably it. You can't play Mariota, not with that injury. You can also look at Delaney Walker, possibly. Since he'll be hobbled, Mariota, maybe he has to throw to Walker a little bit more. So I mean those two plays. But yeah, I'm looking at Miami. I mean, this is going to be their first home game. I mean, they got shellacked in London. By surprise, they haven't been home. So I think this game is going to be a get-right game for them. Tennessee has been just horrible across the board against every position. So, I'm really, like I said, I got a Miami stack. So we'll see what happens.
So the Iceman has checked off Cutler. I said I ain't playing him. One of us are going to be right. That's what I like to hear.
Yep. I mean, hey, man, this is a great matchup, man. I mean, you look at this Tennessee, as far as rushing, they give up 112 yards a game. They've given up 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's not much. But on the, for passing, I'm looking at these stats here. Yeah, for passing, They are, they're in the top half as far as giving up touchdowns as well. So, I mean, this is just a great matchup for Cutler. He better do something here,
Right, right.
if he wants to keep his job.
And I think you said that about somebody, and did you say that about Cam? You said no. You said
Oh
it about
right, yeah, I did last week.
you said it about Cam. Like, if he doesn't do anything here, it's over.
He did.
And he balled out. So maybe
he did.
So if you're playing Cutler, maybe that's a good omen that the Iceman said what he said about Cam. But I'm not fucking with it. I'm not fucking with it. This game it's gonna be my New York Football Giants at the crib. East Rutherford taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, 44.5-point total. The Giants, surprisingly, are a 3-point favorite in this game. We've got Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, the quarterbacks that were traded for each other 13, 14 years ago, where my quarterback went on to win 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and Phillip Rivers has not yet smelled the AFC Championship. So, what do we think is going to happen in this game? I know the biggest question mark that we had for the Giants is who is going to be running the ball, because we know the Chargers give it up against the run. Who can we depend on? Who are we going to be counting on to actually run the ball for the New York Giants, man? And I'm going to have to go out on a limb. You look at Orleans Darkwa and see how he's been banged up and nicked up, and how we know that Shane Vereen is just not capable of being a first, second, or third down back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it goes to Wayne Gallman, the guy that did lead the team in touches last week. We've got Odell. There's no tag on him. He's not questionable. He's good to go. People are not talking about playing Odell. Everybody's talking about, I think I like Brandon Marshall. I like Sterling Shepard. I think this could be an Odell Beckham week. I like him. 8.5K. Really solid stuff there for the Giants. On the other side, I like a lot of it, man. I like Phillip Rivers here. Anytime you got that dude under 5K against a defense like the Giants, who has not been playing very well lately. You got Melvin Gordon at 6K with no questionable injury tag. I like him. Keenan Allen is always a guy that I want to use. As you can tell, I am going to be rolling out a Charger stack. And I'm going to be real with you, man. I'm a Giants fan. We are the worst team in the league. I don't care what the stats say. We are the worst team in the league against tight ends, bro. Tight ends, tight ends eat against us. Bro, tight ends eat against us. It's been that way since Antonio Pierce, man. So,
but who? Yeah, but like Gates, I mean, the guy, who is it going to be, Gates or Henry? That's my question.
Henry.
You think it's going to be Henry?
Henry.
Okay.
Check, please.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of piggybacking off what you said. This game does look pretty solid, I think, from the Chargers standpoint. I am sort of on Gallman. I mean, he impressed last week, man. I mean, in those limited carries he had, he looked pretty good. So, only thing I'm concerned about with Odell Beckham Jr. is Casey Hayward should be shadowing him, and Casey Hayward has done really well against some other receivers that he went up against. So I'm kind of concerned there for Odell, especially on FanDuel when I got to pay so much for him.
Right.
It's just I'm kind of hesitant, man. I don't know, but maybe if I get a chance to pay up in one, because Odell can always snap. He can always go off. So that's no question. But Hayward has been limiting guys. So I'm a little bit afraid of that, but. From the Chargers standpoint, this is a great matchup for Rivers. He can get some work done with the tight end. I don't know who. A lot of people are saying Henry in the group. Limited upside with Gates, and I agree with that. That Nick just said. So I'm probably more towards Henry. He's a younger guy. Although Gates does have a knack for scoring those TDs. So definitely got to look at that. So as far as the Giants side goes, I'm really concerned about the Chargers have a good pass defense. So their cornerbacks are really good. So Eli might be limited in this game. I wouldn't have much exposure to him, but I can understand why you would mark him.
I'm gonna make a bold call, okay? And this guy's so awesome that this might not be a bold call, but I'm gonna pencil the Mohawk in for 2 TDs, bro.
Oh yeah,
he's
okay.
He's gonna be in the end zone twice.
Okay.
Odell Beckham is gonna be in the end zone twice. Odell Beckham might lead the slate in scoring outside of the quarterback position, bro. Odell's gonna go ham.
You think so? Okay.
Bro, I smell an 11. I smell like an 11 catch, 170 yard, 2 touchdown game. Like he's gonna go nuts.
Wow.
I'm,
Okay. That is a bold
yo,
call.
Odell's gonna go nuts tomorrow. Like
Okay.
I just feel it within, deep down within. Odell's gonna go
Uh-huh.
nuts. There's no point for me to play any other receivers for the Giants. Odell's gonna go ham. I like, as I said, Hunter Henry. If I had to choose between him and Antonio Gates, but I'm telling you, yo, I just feel it. Oh, this is an Odell week, Odell statement week. We are 0-4. We have to win. Eli knows that. He knows the best chance he has at winning is throwing the ball to Odell as many times as possible. They're scared of Eli. The arms looking kind of noodly, so they're just running Odell on those little short slants, hoping that he can make a play and get some yak. I love Odell this week, bro. I love Odell this week.
Okay.
I really do. And I didn't last week, so it's not like I'm like some kind of homer. I didn't like him last week, but I love him this week. I love him.
Yeah.
Next game we got is going to be the Arizona Cardinals and no. And I want to go back to that because they're giving it to me on YouTube. And all right, what I want you to know is doing what we do. You've got to be able to set aside your fandom for real objectivity. Okay, and I think I do a pretty good job doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Odell last week. I didn't like the Giants last week. I didn't like them the week before that, really. I liked Eli Manning some, but I didn't like a lot of them. And I just love Odell this week, bro. I think he's going to go off. I really do. And it's not because I'm a Giants fan. It's because their back's against the wall. As a Giants fan, I know when it's their turn to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a Bears fan. Everybody was like, yo, the Bears are going to get their ass whipped last week. You're like, well, I don't know now because I follow this team and I know this team a lot. And there's a good chance that if Jordan Howard can get the ball, and what the fuck happened? They beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know about your team.
Yeah.
You know about your team. You know what I'm saying? Next game we got is the Arizona Cardinals and the Philadelphia Eagles. We got Carson Palmer, 5.9 in a 27th ranked matchup against the quarterback position. That would be the Philadelphia Phillies defense. We got Carson Wentz, the young phenom, 17th ranked DVP is the Arizona Cardinals defense here. Yo, they're giving up 6.5 at the crib. First thing first, can the Philadelphia Eagles give up 6.5 points to the Arizona Cardinals here?
Yeah, that seems a little weird. It does. I mean, you look at this game. Fletcher Cox is still out, and Ronald Darby is out. Those are two big key subtractions from that team. So I'm really looking at. The Cardinals do nothing but pass anyway.
Right.
So this plays right into the matchup that they have because, they give it up to wide receivers. Philadelphia does. Across the board. They shut down running backs, but, the wide receiver and tight end can get off. So I'm really looking at Carson Palmer to have a great game. He's my other top play. I don't know if that's going out on him. But, going out, bold call. But, I really think Carson Palmer's going to have a great game here. I'm also looking at Jerron Brown as a guy who can benefit because he's been really doing well the past few weeks. And with the injuries to the other Brown receiver, that's going to open up stuff for him. Even if they do play, even if the other Brown plays, it's still, I think Jerron Brown has shown enough where he's going to get the ball at least. He's at least going to get 8 to 10 targets. So he's been doing really well with them. So I'm really looking at a good game from him. So the Eagles, a lot of people have been talking about Carson Wentz. This is going to be a tough matchup for him because the Cardinals defense is pretty good. You look at what they've been doing week after week. They've been limiting teams to under 20 points a game for the most part. Carson Wentz, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I think this is one of these lines that don't quite fit the bill here. 45 over and under. I don't think it gets that far.
Okay.
I think you kind of, did you say that as well, or?
I just don't think that we're gonna see like a terribly huge offensive explosion on the Philadelphia Eagles side. I kind of look at the Cardinals to go into Philadelphia and win this game. That's kind of what I'm looking at. The one thing that I do think that a lot of us who's going to be slipping up under the rug for us is look at Andre Ellington, man. And this guy is a wide receiver that plays in the backfield. Like, he's not even a running back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even a running back. So, and I don't care who you are. There's no linebacker in the league that can stay with a guy this quick. I don't mean Andre Ellington because he's so good. I mean, but just with a guy that quick, there's no linebacker in the league that can stay with him. And unfortunately, the price went up to 4.6. But I think this he can be a good play. He can be a good play. I like some Andre Ellington here. Palmer, I'm not as much with you on Palmer or even Jerron Brown. If I was going to play a receiver here, it'd be Larry Fitzgerald because he's like a wide receiver / tight end / old guy / like dad on the team. So they all look to him to do well. So that's where I would go if I would be playing a wide receiver. But I don't have much exposure to the Cardinals here or to this game for that matter because I don't think it's going to live up to the total. I just don't, man. And on the other side, you look at this riddle that is the Philadelphia backfield. Like, what is going to be? Is Kenyon Barner? Is he in play at 3K? Is LeGarrette Blount going to get 20 touches at 4.2? They got the other dude because, Smallwood is out. Like, there's so much shit going on in that backfield. It's kind of looking like a Patriots backfield. Damn, LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount does that. Like, he turns your backfield into, like, some Patriots shit. So hey, man, not something that I really want to be a part of with this one. One guy that I do like that we talked about earlier, on some cheap salary saving is like Torrey Smith or even Nelson Aguilar. Those are gonna be guys that if I get to a point in my roster build where I've got 30, you ever get to the spot where you got 3,600 left and you're like, damn, who's in this range? And you look, and if it's like Torrey Smith sitting there, I'll play him. I will. Okay. Because I know Arizona gives it up to wide receivers and quarterbacks. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Next game we got is, this is here it is. Y'all ready? Yo, go bring everybody in because we about to go in. Because this is the game.
Here we go.
Yo, here we go. Yeah. We got Jacksonville Jaguars, 7-point dog on the road, going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. 42-point total, which is a little lower than I would expect it to be. We've got Blake Bortles priced at 4.8 against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That is the third-ranked defense in the league against the quarterback position. We've got Ben Roethlisberger at 6.4, who is against the number one defense against quarterback position. One of these are fake. One of these are not real. And we're going to see that Sunday. One of these are not real. I love the Pittsburgh side of this game. And I love the Pittsburgh offense so much that I like Le'Veon Bell a lot less than everybody else does. Because I love the whole offense. I like, especially if Martavius Bryant doesn't play, because that opens the door for Jesse James. It opens the door for Antonio Brown. It opens the door for Juju Smith-Schuster, like all of these cats. You know what I'm saying? And I think this game is going to be more about Ben Roethlisberger getting right and playing well at home and showing, hey, Antonio Brown, I can call you out the way I did because I'm the quarterback. Now catch this touchdown and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the kind of game I see this being. So I'm going to have a ton of exposure to Ben Roethlisberger. I like him. He's one of my favorite quarterback players on the slate. I love people are going to stay away from him because they're going to see that number one ranked DVP. I want nothing to do with anything Jacksonville, not even Leonard Fournette, even though Pittsburgh does give it up to running backs. I'm just so set on playing some Pittsburgh Steelers here and not playing all Le'Veon Bell. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I agree that the price is high on Bell. But this guy, I mean, we saw what he did last week. He can get 150, 2 touchdowns rushing. I mean, obviously the stats show. I mean, why would Pittsburgh not run him? I mean, I mean, the Pittsburgh. If you look at all the stats, just point to them. This being more of a rushing game, I think, and he plays well at home. But yeah, I agree. They are going to try to force feed Antonio Brown probably. I mean, I'm pretty obviously he's going to be shadowed by Jalen Ramsey, which is a tough cover. But obviously, Antonio Brown is a tough cover too. So I mean, this game is like you said. I wouldn't pick anybody from the Jaguars. I mean. With Marquise Lee being out for them, it's possible if he's out, Mercedes Lewis might be a guy that they go to all the time. But I mean, he might be a tournament play. But as far as Pittsburgh goes, I mean, I just can't. Even though I know a lot of people saying, like you just said, Jacksonville might not be for real on defense as far as pass defense goes. But I mean, I believe they have good cornerbacks. They have a good secondary. I really think they limit Ben here. I think that the star of this game is going to be Bell. Will he get that top value for his price? I don't know, but I mean the stats point to him having that kind of game. So I will have him in some of my lineups too. I mean, but yeah, obviously I wish the price was lower, but I mean, in this point, you get. I don't think you can completely fade him from all your lineups, but I can see if you do, because that is a steep price.
Now, and it's just to put it in perspective, okay? Now we know the football knowledge that's here, that's right now. Like everybody that's paying attention right now, you're up and it's 10:20 Eastern time, and you're not here because you don't know what you're doing. You're here because you know something and you want to share. You know what I'm saying? So let's lay that out. We all know what the hell we're doing. Let's take a look really quick from a DFS standpoint, okay? Let's take a look. Okay, so there's three options. Three things can happen when we play Le'Veon Bell. Number one, and what most people think, what probably about 30% of everybody who spends money on DFS thinks, is that Bell will go ham. 30% of people think that. And that's one option, right?
Yeah.
There's another school of people that think Bell will not go ham. He will not have a great game. He will not. He won't. You know what I mean? He won't go ham. Well, in the middle, there's people that say, he probably won't have a bad game. He probably won't go ham. So he's probably going to do something in the middle, right?
Okay, yeah.
So only one of those options can win you a tournament. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only one of those options can win you a tournament. And the one that can win you the tournament is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell doesn't go ham. You know what I mean? If Le'Veon Bell doesn't go ham, that can win you a tournament because 30% of people are on this cat, man. It's gonna be so high owned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me, and then I've got two players on that side. I've got if either he doesn't go ham or he doesn't or he doesn't hurt me. You know what I mean? Because if he just has a pedestrian game, a regular game where he scores 22 points, which is decent, he doesn't hurt me. That doesn't hurt me. Now, if he scores 46 points, that's the only way he's going to take me completely out of contention. You know what I'm saying? The ownership on Bell's going to be so high, the only way that he kills me is if he scores 45 points. Other than that, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, I do see the merit to fading Bell. But I mean, obviously, if you're playing cash, you got to have him. Tournaments. I mean, there is merit to fading him in tournaments. But I mean, Jacksonville just gives up 165 yards per game on average. And we're talking about an elite back here. I mean, they've given up 5 rushing touchdowns. He also, obviously catches passes as well. I mean, I see this as being, I don't know how it's not a big game for him, to be honest with you, but I can see the merits of fading him in a tournament, but you got to have him in cash.
Yo, the Iceman just played it cool on me just now and like shut me down. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we call him Iceman. I was all like animated and shit. He was like, nah, fuck all that. I'm just I get what you said. That's why we call him Iceman, baby. Shout out to the Iceman. Let's get it. Next game we got is the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. This is a really nice total, man. 47.5 points is the total here. We got the Rams giving up a 1.5 at the crib. Isn't that crazy? The Rams are giving up something to the Seattle Seahawks, man. Legion of Boom is on deck. We don't know who's going to be running the ball for Seattle and how they're going to be doing it. Yeah. And this is probably the best situation, one of the best situations to have a running back in. We don't know if Raw's going to get the bulk of the carries, if J.D. McKissick is here. We don't understand exactly what's happening. Eddie Lacy, we don't know. Todd Gurley on the other side. Yo, I'm making a stand. I'm not playing Gurley. Completely 100% fade. I do not want to play Gurley. Yo, I heard all of the pods this week talk about, people are going to let the old Legion of Boom thing keep them from playing Gurley. And that's a mistake because they did that. I'm not stupid, bro. I'm not playing Todd Gurley at 8K against the Seahawks in this type of matchup when there's other people similarly priced in better matchups that I can play. What do you think about this game? Give me your overall view here.
Yeah, well, obviously Goff has been playing fairly well recently. He's been doing pretty well. I mean, Seahawks will be without Cliff Averill. I mean, that's a big loss. He's dealing with an injury, so down that key pass rusher. Can Goff continue his great play. I mean, obviously we've seen these two teams go at it over the years. It was in St. Louis before, but now it's in Los Angeles. But these two teams go at it, man, and they put up big scores. So this game could be sort of a shootout. I mean, you look at the matchups. Obviously, positives for Seattle's running game, but like you said, we don't know who's going to be there. I'm thinking Lacy probably is going to get probably the bulk of the carries, but is that enough to roster him in a tournament? The upside probably isn't there. So, I mean, even though this is like a dream matchup, I don't see how you can do it. So, you just don't know who's going to run the ball. So, and then from the Rams standpoint, I mean, the Seattle's been pretty good at limiting quarterbacks, but this is a game that's not in Seattle. So obviously their defense is not as good away from home. So, and they're down a pass rusher, and I think that's going to help Goff, probably get a little bit more time to throw. So, I know a lot of people are talking about, like you just said, fading Gurley, and I could, this is not a great matchup for him, and the upside probably isn't there. So I could see that. You don't have to play him this week. You can go elsewhere. So I still do see this game being a fairly high-scoring game. I mean, the total here is 48. I can see that reaching that, and it's going to be a close game. So there's going to be definitely fantasy value here. But man, I just wish I knew who was running the ball for Seattle. I wish we had a clear role there. So we don't have it. So I don't know if you. I mean, if you want to throw Lacy in a tournament, maybe, but I just can't do that. Not in a single entry tournament.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, let's move right along, man. Next game we got is going to be the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. We got E.J. Manuel at quarterback, 4.9. We've got Joe Flacco here at 4.7. The Oakland Raiders, man, give it up to quarterbacks, man. And Joe Flacco has not been a very good quarterback so far this season. We've got the Ravens defense, which really stands out to a lot of us here. Anytime you're gonna get a guy like this, a defense like this against a guy like E.J. Manuel, and you got Marshawn Lynch, running the football, man, who hasn't been killing it lately. This is gonna really put the Ravens defense here in play. I can get that. It makes a lot of sense. I'm going to be taking advantage of them as well. I just wish there was a running back here that I really liked, so I could, really capitalize on liking the Ravens defense so much. So, what do you think about the Ravens running back situation? How do you feel about this one?
Well, the Ravens running back situation, like you said, is just a mess. I mean, we just don't know who's going to be running them. I mean, we thought it was Buck Allen and it was West, and who knows what's going to happen. But I mean, this game is I mean, this is a great matchup for old Flacco to actually do something here. I mean, can he get the job done? I mean, I don't know. It's tough to trust him, but this is an awfully good matchup for him. I mean, I don't know who you would pair him with, but
that's what got me. That's what got me, bro.
I mean, I see people in the shop saying Wallace and what else are they saying? Macklin, but is Macklin going to play? I'm looking at the injury report here.
Yeah, he's questionable right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Macklin is a good player. I mean, you could definitely pair him with him. I mean, old man Watson is questionable as well. He had a good game a couple games ago, but I mean, the Ravens are going to be missing interior. Their great interior defender, Brandon Williams. So Marshawn Lynch, could he actually have a good game? That's the question. I can't trust him. He has to actually prove something to me. I can't trust the guy. I mean, this is a good situation for him, though. Can he get the job done? I just don't know. But I would be looking at Cook. I mean, we don't know if Carr's going to play this game. I guess they're saying that he's suddenly been upgraded to questionable. I don't think he plays. I mean, you can't risk it. Let him heal up another week. So Manuel is going to be out there. And I would be looking at Baltimore's defense here, to be honest with you. I think Manuel is just not that good. I mean, he might throw a touchdown to Cook, but I mean, we've been seeing just bad play out of Cooper. Crabtree's a guy you can look at always, But I mean, other than that, I mean, this game, possible, stay away from Baltimore just due to the uncertainty of who's going to be there. I guess we have to check back Sunday morning to see if some of these guys are going to play. But I mean, this is a good matchup for Flacco, and this might be one of these plays where if he actually, in the event, like the small chance he does well, really well, I mean, he could win you something. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
But to me, I think you're gonna see 5 field goals in this game, easy, easy. You're
Five
gonna
field goal.
you're
Okay.
gonna easily see 5 field goals in this game. This is gonna be a field goal game, bro. Uh,
Uh-huh.
we've seen Baltimore struggle to move the ball. We know what we're gonna get with EJ Manuel. I have very little interest in the offensive side of the ball on both sides. I think Marshawn Lynch would be somewhere I could get to at 5.1. If I'm in my roster bills and I'm looking to play, say, DeMarco Murray, and I've got 5.3 left and Murray is 5.4, and I would go down to Marshawn Lynch. I wouldn't take somebody else out to get up to Murray. I would just settle for paying down for Marshawn Lynch in this spot. I mean, 5.1. What do you need from him? 15 points,
Right.
please. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I could go there, and of course the Ravens defense automatically. Whenever we got these quarterbacks coming in like this, I'm looking to the defenses that they're going to be facing. Man, I'm gonna look to them, and that's why not only did we think about playing Miami defense with Mariota being out, we also going to be taking a look at the Ravens here against EJ Manuel. So let's go and take a look at the last game on the slate. This is the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. The highest point total we have on the slate, bro, 52.5, I believe, right? This is without question the highest point total. And you've got Aaron Rodgers here against a 24th ranked DVP. You've got Dak Prescott against a 4th ranked DVP. You got Aaron Rodgers with a couple of the offensive linemen still missing. The Cowboys are at home. Zeke. I mean, there's so much. This is like so much goodness associated with this game. I really don't see this game being a letdown, and I think a lot of people are going to have some exposure to this game. So, what do you think about not only the Green Bay running situation, because we know people are talking about Randall Cobb getting some snaps at running back.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
He could.
What do you think about this one? Because I know everybody's going to love this game.
Well, I mean, the weird thing here is that they're saying that Devontae Adams might play. I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. But hey, if he wants to play, let him. I mean, I guess let him play. But I mean, the Packers will be. Mike Daniels, I heard, is coming back, so that's going to improve their defensive line play. This game, I mean, when these two teams play, it's always a fun game to watch. It's always high scoring, for the most part. And now you have some motivation for the Cowboys to, get back at the Packers for putting them out last year. So, I really can see Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, we all know a lot of this game is the highest point total. This is going to be chalk central here. Like I heard someone say, Curtis Cover, he said chalk central. So, I'll take the chalk with Aaron Rodgers. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Give me Jordy. They're gonna score some points. Aaron Rodgers, he's not gonna play badly in this spot, I don't think. And this is a positive matchup for him. I mean, you look across the board. I mean, I wish we knew who was going to be running the ball for Green Bay. And from what I understand, it could be Aaron Jones. I think he's scheduled to get the bulk of the carries, and he looked pretty decent last week. So I would, getting behind him as a GPP dart. You can't. He's cheap. What is he? I think he's under. No, he's 5,900 on FanDuel. I don't know what he is on DK, but so that is kind of a steep price a little bit. You got
Right.
but I mean, this game is going to have some really relevant fantasy value here. I'm looking at Zeke definitely. I'm locking in Aaron Rodgers. I got him in in half of my lineups.
Going 50 on him.
Yeah. I don't care. I'll eat the chalk. I think this is good chalk. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good game here. I mean, and you look at the other quarterbacks. I mean, I don't think any of them possess the upside of Aaron Rodgers. So that's the reason why I would lock him in.
Now, quick question here. Now, being as high as you are this week on Aaron Rodgers, and knowing our propensity to try to maximize off a quarterback that we like that much, Like, what receivers are you looking to pair for him? Do you think any of these guys have 2 touchdown upside? Do you think that if he could spread the ball around like a classic Aaron Rodgers game where he like throws to 7 different receivers? Like, what do you see? Can you play him naked? Like what?
Oh yeah. You can play him naked. Yeah. Go ahead. I got him naked in one lineup. But I just I can't get away from the quarterback wide receiver pairing. So I'm gonna have that pairing, him and Jordy, and possibly him and what's the other? I forgot the other receiver's name. Cobb. Yeah.
So, Randy Cobb.
Yeah. So I'm I got either one of those 2 pairings, but Michael Bennett might actually have a good game here too. Dallas is not known for giving it up to tight ends, but he's been heavily targeted in the past few games. So is this the game he's actually going to break through? Never know. So there's a lot of options for Aaron Rodgers. We don't even know how many times they're going to run the ball either. I would think they would pass more. If you look at their run to pass ratios, it's heavily skewed obviously towards pass. So Jordy Nelson always gets some red zone looks. So you always got to think about him as well. So Dak Prescott, if you look at the matchup, it might not seem like a good matchup, but I think he has some motivation here to really do well in this spot. And obviously, Dez Bryant is always getting red zone looks. He's been heavily targeted as well. So, I wouldn't even be opposed to a Dallas stack here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be opposed to that. So,
as much as I should be opposed to Dallas anything, I've got to agree with you, man. And the fact that most of the coverage in this game at the quarterback spot is probably going to be shifted towards Aaron Rodgers. That's really making me look at Dak Prescott more and more. And what a DVP means to some quarterbacks may not mean the same thing to others. And you looked at Green Bay so far this season, and they've played a collection of pocket passers. Hadn't really faced a guy like Dak Prescott, a guy that can get outside of the pocket, make moves, make throws outside, and also run the ball when he had to. Because that's how he beat Arizona. Like he put that game on his back and was running the bootleg. Like he went ham. He showed him he showed him he could run, and then he just play faked and bootleg and was throwing the ball down the field to Bryce Butler. And I don't think that's going to be tough for him to do in this spot either. So you give me a $1,300 discount that I can spend somewhere else. I love Dak in this spot. I really do. I like Dak. And then you pair that with the fact that I know who's running the ball here. You know what I'm saying? Like I know who's running the ball here. I don't know Jamal Williams. Is it Aaron Jones? Is it Randall Cobb? I don't know who's gonna be running the ball here. I know that Dak is gonna give it to Zeke, or he's gonna pass it to Dez, and it's just so easy for me to look at this one as a stack and still get the guys in that I want. Because I can go Dallas stack Odell, Randall Cobb, and still be good and still get what I want. You know what I'm saying? So, I like this one, man. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we have reached a time in the show where we must close the curtain. That's right. We've got to get together as a group, huddle up, and go ahead and build these Week 5 lines that we're going to be using, and go out and get some of this shark money. So you've got about 10 minutes. If you are not already a subscribed card-carrying member of the DFS Sweatshop, to go to the website, www.dfssweatshop.com. Go ahead and get in there, man. I will allow you into the very best Facebook group online, and we will build some dope lines, man, for us to use. They've been pretty good, man. They've been dope, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have been,
We've been crushing, bro. We've been crushing.
That's the stuff we built right there. I mean, and even if you don't take the lineup as it is, you can see where it's consistently popping certain plays, and you can really consider those. I mean, I know that helped me last week, so. Most certainly.
Yeah. Because since week 1, it's been putting. Remember, week 1, it kept trying to give us Jacksonville defense, like, and we were, and I was like getting out of it, like, no, I don't want to play that. I want to play that, and them motherfuckers went ham. They went ham. It was crazy. And then last week it was giving us somebody else. I can't remember. Well, whatever. But hey, if you want to get in on it, man, come and join us inside the Sweatshop VIP, man. We are out from yours truly, the DFS Jerusalem, and the homie, the Iceman. Have you sent out your first tweet yet, brother? Like,
Not yet. It's coming.
Ooh.
It's coming.
So we still wait. We still wait on Iceman's first tweet. And go follow him, man. That's at Iceman_Coley. Go follow him, man. A lot of NFL stuff he's gonna be tweeting. He's gonna be chopping it up. And NBA is right around the corner, bro. And I wanted to take the first week off, first little week, or maybe 2 or 3 games off for NBA preseason. And I think now's the time. Let's get back into NBA. Let's, because I'm starting to see, bro. I'm starting to see they're getting minutes. The minutes are kind of getting solidified. They're kind of figuring out who's going to be in the rotation. You kind of have a good idea which rookies are going to be impact rookie players. So we're going to be chopping up NBA. Quick question from YouTube. Mo, do you play the roto lines as is, or do you tweak them? I tweak them. Or not. Yo, come to VIP and find out what we do, bro.
Man. I mean, I think a couple weeks ago, like one as is won you about 150.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and I didn't touch it.
Yeah, you didn't touch it. So
yeah, I didn't touch it. Yeah, bro. I played it how I made it. It went in. So, yeah, man, we are out, man. Yo, much love to y'all, man. If you on DraftKings, keep it 250. You on FanDuel, keep it 200. You rocking with us, man. So we always keep it at 300. Peace.